Hey, all you YouTube fans, watchers, people out there. It's the Nexus at Night people again. It's Atlas,
And Matt.
And root beer.
and we're here to talk about the reveals that they revealed on the stream this week. So they revealed what the Dragon Empire Overtrigger does.
They sure did.
In addition to the aforementioned, when you drive check it, draw, and remove it from the game, the kicker is that if it's revealed during the drive check, you stand your Vanguard.
Yep. And
No questions
That's
asked.
pretty insane.
yeah, I kind of hate this.
Me too.
I need to read something. Hold on.
Okay.
So, obviously, this is good with the Murakumo stride. Everyone can figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, it's good with. It's just good.
So, you're telling me with Neburos, I have 6 checks to try to get to it.
Yeah. You
I
have
think I
six.
can make that.
Yeah. I think you can make that work too.
If you don't gauge it like an idiot.
Yeah.
And then also, I've been playing Blade Master today, and on average, I can restand my vision token at least twice. So that's 6 drive checks to try and find it.
Wait, what is this with the Murakumo stride? Which one?
So, the Supreme Collection 2-1 New Dao, it has a when it attacks, turn a card from your G zone face up and stand all your regards with the same name as one of your regards, but this effect is not once per turn. So, assuming you like Hugad and Strode on it from G zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then you could attack with New Dao. So you attack with all your regards, attack with New Dao, restand, right? And
Yep.
if you trigger the Overtrigger, you would restand New Dao during the attack phase, but he's still attacking. So you can attack with your regards again, attack with New Dao again, flip up another card in your G zone, restand all your regards.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a thing.
And also, the 10 million power doesn't go away, so whatever you gave that to will be restanding with 10 million power.
Yep.
Or 100
I mean,
million, sorry.
Well, it's important to remember that every deck only gets a copy of this. You could draw it in your opening hand. You could take it as damage.
I'm gonna draw it as my first. I'm gonna take it as my first damage every game.
Yeah. Well, Barber's Law, but it's just I think that's just something important to remember because this definitely sets off alarm bells. In my head, 100 million power restanding your Vanguard for free, but it's only one, and it gets removed from the game after. But it's still that could easily be enough to just kill if it shows up at the right time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, for sure. But it could also not show up at the right time, or really not show up at all. And I think I'm not actually that upset about Overtrigger, as a concept. I think it's kind of memey, and it's a little concerning, but it's not my main concern going into Overdress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about this in Premium, where there's more ways to cheese it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. There's still that part of me that trying to explain Vanguard to other people, and they're it's more it's less skill based than Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh, and this does not help your case.
Well, yeah, but nobody really cares about those arguments, at all. Nobody gives a shit.
Mm-hmm.
People play a game because they enjoy that game. People like the, pseudo randomness of Vanguard. So it's not a huge deal that that there's some amount of that.
Yeah,
I don't think.
See, now what I'm interested in is I'm wondering what this Cater Sanctuary one does, because OTT has a lot of cards where it's draw a card, put a card on top, right?
Yeah. Or just looks at your deck.
Normally, yeah. So normally that didn't really have that much of a consequence, but depending what the Cater Sanctuary one does, that could easily break you guys. Easy.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have to find out. They also revealed the full art for all of the TDs, for your main grade 3, 2, the 1, the starter, and then your crit and heal trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And for all 5 of them, it's like a 6-way Legion picture for all of them. Like,
Easy.
yeah, I really like. Well, first off, one of them is named Matt, which good for you, sir.
We did it.
Yep, you did it. But a lot of these are just beautiful art. I really like the Stoichea one. The grade 1 looks like a combination between a Bulbasaur and a Snorlax. Don't tell me you don't see it.
I can see it.
Yeah, the Brant Sanctuary grade 3 has a giant pair of handcuffs. So,
Of course it does.
Yeah, I mean, we already knew that from the initial art revealed, so like.
Right, but we didn't really see it as like a 6-way Legion picture. That's the thing at the time. But there's a couple details here that has people both in the proof court and everywhere else concerned. So, if you please, one of you.
So the trigger power has remained at 10k, which is a point of contention because the trigger powers in V kind of outscaled defensive capabilities, especially fronts, which still exist. And it's not ideal and not where people want it to be. People were really hoping for 5k trigger power again.
Yeah.
What, just for the defensive, like,
just to like bump things down a bit.
Right.
They also they bumped down grade 1 shield from 10k to 5k.
Saw that.
Which concerns me.
And shield triggers are now 15k instead of 20.
Correct. Which all of this stuff is a little concerning because they're keeping the trigger power increase, but lowering the shield value.
Yeah. And
like, I don't know. Go ahead.
I will say that, like, as somebody getting back into premium and like playing around with all this stuff, 5k shields are just not good enough. Like, having to play 5k grade 1s is just awful sometimes.
Yeah.
So, the fact that, like, standards of power and offensively is staying the same as V era, but shield values are decreasing is, like, it's not good. Yeah. They are well, they say they're listening to feedback, so hopefully this hasn't... I'm afraid this has already gone too far for them to, like, scale back the power, but hopefully they hear people's concerns and maybe either bump up shield values or scale down trigger power.
Maybe. Or this could also be, like, this is probably, like, pie in the sky here, but there's also the possibility that this is just a symptom of being a trial deck, and maybe the cards in the main pack have bigger shield. I can easily see this really becoming...
Yeah.
For the reason that the TDs are a good place to put triggers, so people don't need to worry about buying freaking... like, you don't need to have, like, repeat cards in the first set.
Yeah.
Base. So, like, it would be really convenient to just have the triggers in the trial deck be the triggers that you're going to play with. And maybe have some, like, bonus triggers in the set that are, different names, so you can play multiple crits or multiple whatever, right? So it seems a little strange to me that they wouldn't be this, like, you would bump up shield values in the main set. That'd be really bizarre.
Yeah, it would.
Maybe. We also don't know what any of these effects are, so they could be defensive stuff. I don't know. This could easily be like that clown meme where, like, the more ridiculous the take is, it, like, puts on more clown makeup.
Yeah.
I could easily see this becoming that, but
it's like we talked about, like, defensive card abilities for a long time, and it's not something that's really occurred, and except out of, like, very narrow cases of, like, Gurgit and Shiryuki, both were insane cards. But, like, yeah, we're just not seeing very many of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the hope here is just that people will give them feedback on this, and they will either scale it back or implement some sort of rule change to bump down trigger powers a bit if it's like too late to fix this first printing.
So I am comforted knowing that Mori, the guy who's the director of Vanguard now, is in fact listening to people in general, not just in Japan. So I'm comforted by that. I am a little comforted by that. But you know, it's been a long history with Bushiroad, right? So
yeah,
I'd really like to see some. I thought a lot of the changes, as far as like Overdress as a whole, were positive. Referring to, I thought the nation going into nations rather than clans was a great idea. I think it's basically impossible to keep up supporting 24 clans plus collab sets.
Yeah,
And I just think like that wasn't sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
So I do hope that, and I hope they make sure to say in premium that you can play the new whale boat cards in like older decks in premium too. I don't know if they've said that yet, but it would be cool if Token Ranbu would have access to those cards, for example.
I think they would, because like by definition they would. Things like Bang Dream and Token Ranbu would fit into that nation under the new system. So
I just want something like official, right? Like obviously we think they should. It's just that I just want it to be said, I guess.
Makes sense.
But that's kind of what I'm looking for.
Yeah. So yeah, it's mildly concerning, but I think they're still off to a pretty good start.
I guess we have to see what the actual abilities are, just to get an understanding of like what are the standards of power here.
Here's hoping that Intercept is not overpowered in their heads, but not in practice. You know what I mean?
Like it is in the main game, because 5k shields are not a lot.
Well, it's not just that, but just stuff like, protect 2, but not giving whatever's on the circle intercept. And then
they just play 15 grade 2s.
Yeah, it's just very frustrating. But what do you think, listener, viewer? Is this Overtrigger overly concerning? Is this power stuff overly concerning? Let us know in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe. We got a Patreon link down there in the description for you. And we will see you next time. I was Atlas.
I'm still Matt.
I'm Root Beer.
And we will see you in the next video.